Today I'm going to teach you the best way to train in order to build bigger biceps and develop your arms. As always, before we get into the video, help us grow the channel, help us with the YouTube algorithm. Hit like, hit subscribe so you can get notified every time we drop a new video, and comment below if you have any questions that I can help you with and answer. Typically, when people think of building muscle, not just their biceps, although that's what we're primarily going to focus on today, but when most people think of building muscle, they just think of more. Add more volume, you will grow. And we know this based on research because most research does allude to the fact if we add volume or follow a high volume protocol, we will grow more muscle. However, there is diminishing returns to adding more volume. We can injure ourselves by just having more joint stress. We could just burn out because our nervous system can't handle the amount that we are doing, therefore we can't recover. And if we can't recover, we cannot grow. So just adding more weight, reps, sets, volume in general is a very unintelligent way to program because it is going to lead to negative results. So what I want to show you today is how to take the amount of volume that is right for you, whether that is the maximum amount that you can recover from or just below that, which is getting near that maximum amount, but it's enough for you to continually recover and grow, and then distribute that volume in an intelligent way so that you're taking all the work you're doing and you're distributing it properly to maximize your gains. And you're going to do this by joint angle distribution. What this means is that I'm varying the joint angles that I'm using throughout the week with my exercise selection. There's a really cool study by my good friend Christopher Bearcat, and it talks about varying the angles of the shoulder joint while doing bicep curls. And what they did is they took curls in a extended shoulder position, so say a seated incline hammer curl where we're actually allowing our shoulder to go into hyperextension. So it's pulling into an extended position and we're getting that bicep to fully stretch at the bottom. Then they took the shoulder and put it in a neutral position, which could be a dumbbell or a barbell curl, where our shoulders are right at our sides. So they're not coming forward, they're not going back, they're just in a neutral position. And then they had another curl in a shoulder flexed position. So now the shoulder joint is going in front of the body into a flex position, something like a spider curl. And when we varied the curl variations by joint angle, we saw more muscle activation and potentially more muscle growth compared to the group that did all the same amount of volume in a neutral position. So what this tells us is pretty simple. If we vary our joint angle, we can stimulate more growth, even if volume is distributed the same exact way. So when we look at the study, both groups did 9 total sets of bicep curls. One group did 3 at each different joint angle. Again, that's extended shoulder joint, neutral shoulder joint, and flexed shoulder joint. The other group just did 9 sets of curls in a neutral position. The group that varied the joints grew more and had more muscle activation. But if we think about the total volume based on what our nervous system, what our body, what our joints, what we can handle from a recovery perspective, these groups are exactly the same. So recovery will be the same, but the growth will be better in one group, which means that we can sustainably grow for a longer period of time and optimize our results without those diminishing returns that come with just adding more volume. So what does this mean in practical application for your bicep growth? It's pretty simple. This gives you a direct roadmap, a more intelligent route of programming your bicep work throughout the week. What you would want to do in this scenario, instead of just slapping on more sets throughout the week, you would want to hit your biceps 2 to 3 times per week because we can optimize volume better. And an easy way to explain this is if I do 6 sets of curls on Monday, by my 6th set, my weight is going to lower because my biceps are fatiguing, my elbow joints might be a little bit tired. But if I was to do 3 on Monday and 3 on Thursday, I would be able to do more load on those final 3 sets because they'd be on a completely different day. By the end of the week, I'd have a higher total volume, absolute volume from a weight perspective each week. This is gonna allow me to progress longer over time. So we wanna optimize our volume by splitting up the frequency 2 to 3 times a week to hit the biceps. And then throughout the week, we're gonna dictate our exercise selection by varying that joint angle. So on Monday, let's say I choose 2 exercises. If I'm doing twice a week, which is typically what I do, I might do a incline dumbbell hammer curl where my shoulders in extension, and I might do a cable bicep curl in a spider position where my shoulders are in a flex position. And then on Thursday, I might do a barbell curl in a neutral position, and then I'll choose another exercise in either the flexed or the extended position to double up on that one. But now I've varied my joint angles, probably varied my rep ranges, and I've done it in 2 separate days throughout the week to optimize the amount of load I'm using, which is also going to increase the total volume. But now I'm distributing that volume by changing the joint angle and truly optimizing the amount of volume volume I can recover from and maximizing the gains within that volume. We also know based on other research that exercise variation being increased can lead to more muscle hypertrophy. So we know when we're trying to build strength, it's very neurological and skill specific. So the best way to get strong at a squat is to just squat a lot. You're not going to get much out of doing tons of different variations of lunges and leg extensions and leg presses. But with hypertrophy, it's a little bit different. We don't want to do too much, but there is a benefit. For example, there's been research that shows just a leg press for 6 sets, let's say, versus a leg press and a leg extension for 3 sets each. And we may be able to stimulate more hypertrophy through doing leg press and leg extension for the same total volume because we're able to hit that muscle from different angles and with different distributions of load and pattern. Now, if we combine this with the joint angle, we really just have a roadmap of how to program and how to select exercises throughout the week based on optimizing volume, optimizing frequency, and optimizing the joint angle or the loading pattern given for each and every muscle. And now what we can do is take that information and apply it to all the muscles in our body potentially. A really good example of this is the legs. We can do a leg curl in a seated position or a lying position. This is going to put us in a hip flexed position and a hip extended position, much like we did with the shoulder for the curls. Now, there's not a direct research study on that specific body part, but if we know that varying joint angles helps improve hypertrophy and muscle activation while maximizing volume and recovery, then we want to apply this to every muscle in our body throughout the week if we're trying to use the research for better programming. All right, guys, I hope this video allows you to see what some of the research has said, see how my brain works when I'm programming for clients, and then allows you to literally take it and apply it into your own programming and vary your exercises for less injuries, more volume, and more muscle growth. If you like this video, make sure you like the video, make sure you hit subscribe to get updated on our future videos that we'll be dropping every week, and I will catch you next time.